Rangers are currently undergoing a complete rebuild of the club, with Clement being sacked just a few weeks ago, Patrick Stewart announcing the desire to sign a sporting director, and the San Francisco 49ers Enterprises takeover getting closer and closer. A much needed rebuild for a historic club who are seeming to struggle domestically. Rafa Benitez, an incredibly decorated manager and legend of the game, could be the man to take Rangers to the next level during this rebuild. We will discuss this story in today's video, whilst also going over all the latest Rangers news from the past 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Barry Ferguson is hopeful of having his first choice central defensive pairing available as Rangers gear up for a crucial Europa League round of 16 first leg clash against Fenerbahce on Thursday. The return of Leon Balogun and John Suter could provide a much needed boost for the Ibrox side, who have struggled defensively in their absence. Rangers have been forced to rely on young Clinton and Ciala and summer signing Robin Propper in recent weeks, but the partnership has failed to inspire confidence. Their defensive frailties have coincided with a turbulent period that saw Philippe Clement dismissed as manager following a string of damaging results. Now, interim boss Ferguson is counting on the experience of Balogun and Suter to steady the ship as they prepare for a daunting test in Istanbul. Both defenders have reportedly pledged to make themselves available for selection, even if it means pushing the limits of sports science. Clement was widely criticised for his reliance on sports science to justify resting key players, a strategy that ultimately backfired and contributed to him being sacked by Rangers last month. In contrast, Balogun and Suter are determined to put their bodies on the line in an effort to salvage Rangers' season, with both taking part in a full training session on Tuesday. Rangers' hopes of winning a domestic trophy are over, so the Europa League is their only chance to avoid finishing the campaign without any silverware. Balogun was thrust into action at half-time during Saturday's 2-1 Scottish Premiership defeat to Motherwell, despite having trained for just 25 minutes the previous day after a lengthy injury layoff. Ferguson turned to the experienced Nigerian international after opting to withdraw Propper at the break, with the Dutchman enduring another difficult first half. That decision followed a similar call in Ferguson's first game in charge, when he ruthlessly hooked Ansiala early in Rangers' clash at Kilmarnock with his side 2-0 down. Suter, meanwhile, has also spent a significant spell on the sidelines this season. He returned from a 7-week absence at the end of January, only to suffer another setback 3 games later. The former Hearts star hasn't featured for the Light Blues since February 16th, but he was back in full training this week, eager to contribute for Ferguson. With several basic defensive errors plaguing Rangers in recent weeks, the return of 2 experienced centre-backs could be crucial as they attempt to contain Fenerbahce and keep their European hopes alive. The challenge remains formidable, with Jose Mourinho's side boasting considerable attacking firepower, but Ferguson will take encouragement from the resolve shown by his returning defenders. As Rangers travel to Istanbul in search of a result ahead of the return leg at Ibrox the following week, Balogun and Suter's presence could be pivotal in what is shaping up to be a defining fortnight in their season. Now, in some massive news, Rangers could be set to appoint Rafa Benitez as their new head coach, as the San Francisco 49ers-backed consortium is reportedly considering Rafa Benitez as a potential candidate to become Rangers' next permanent manager. This development follows RFC News' exclusive report from last month, revealing that American businessman Andrew Kavanagh is leading a consortium alongside Leeds United chairman Parag Maraf to buy a controlling stake in the Glasgow club. Maraf, who plays a key role in the investment arm of NFL team San Francisco 49ers, is part of the group driving the bid. With a deal now agreed in principle, discussions about the club's future are intensifying behind the scenes. Rangers' managerial seat is currently occupied by Barry Ferguson, who stepped in on an interim basis following the dismissal of Philippe Clement. Ferguson, a club legend, suffered a damaging defeat to Motherwell, which may hurt his chances of securing the role permanently. Meanwhile, Rafa Benitez, a seasoned manager with a Champions League victory under his belt, has emerged as a possible candidate for the job after leaving Celta Vigo earlier this season. Scott Burns shared insights into the potential recruitment of Benitez during an interview. Burns mentioned that sources suggested Benitez was on the radar of the incoming Rangers ownership group as they consider their next managerial appointment. However, Burns also clarified that at this stage, no formal contact has been made with Benitez or his representatives. He noted, if they are interested in Rafa Benitez, they haven't reached the point where they've initiated discussions with him. Burns suggested that things are likely in the early stages as the consortium awaits the completion of the takeover process before proceeding with any formal approaches. As for the timeline, Burns hinted that Rangers' new owners plan to ramp up their search for a permanent successor to Philippe Clement within the next 2 to 3 weeks. This timing is expected to coincide with the finalization of the takeover, after which the consortium will begin more concrete talks with potential candidates, including possibly Benitez. So what do you think? Is Benitez someone you would like to see at Rangers? Do you think he is the right man to drive the club back to success? If not, who is? Let me know down below. In other news, mystery still surrounds Ryan Kent's departure from Fenerbahce in Istanbul nearly 5 months after the former Rangers winger had his contract with the Turkish Giants terminated by mutual consent. Kent joined the 19-time Super League winners on a free transfer after leaving Ibrox back in 2023 and played 18 times and scored 1 goal for them in all competitions during his debut season. However, the former Liverpool kid gradually fell out of favour under Ismail Kartal, who took over from Jorge Jesus as manager less than a month after he arrived at the Sukru Sarıkoglu Stadium. The former £6.5 million player started in a Champions League second qualifying round match against Lugano in Switzerland back in July and helped Jose Mourinho's side to record a 4-3 victory. However, the ex-England under-20 internationalist was forced to train by himself and his contract was terminated by mutual consent in October after it emerged the 28-year-old was considering going to the Court of Arbitration for Sport to have his situation resolved. FIFA advised their member clubs that making a player train by themselves could be considered abusive behaviour. Mir Aydin, who runs the Turkish football YouTube channel Spor TV, felt that Kent, who is still without a club despite being linked with Ajax, Ipswich Town and Leeds United last summer, did well when he featured in the first team. Speaking ahead of the Europa League last 16 match between Fenerbahce and Rangers in Istanbul tomorrow night, Aydin admitted that is unsure why he had to move on. There are still lots of question marks about that, he said. First of all, it's not about Mourinho, it's about the previous manager Kartal. Everybody was very optimistic when Kent came. I don't think he was dropped from the squad for performance reasons, because he played badly in games. He didn't play poorly when he was given a chance to show what he could do. There have been a lot of rumours about there being disciplinary issues. People have speculated that he clashed with the manager or with his fellow players. There has been a lot of talk about what took place, but nobody knows exactly what happened. He just vanished. What I can say is that Kartal, the previous coach, is a very nice guy. Some managers fight with their players and fall out with them. But that was not the former coach's character. He was a player's manager. That is why there is talk about there being disciplinary problems. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Thank you, I'll see you in the next video.